We are discussing matrices, or the singular form is matrix. This in reference to the digital image processing. What operations are there? Why matrix is so necessary? Just for your information, MATLAB. MATLAB is that tool which solves many of your DIB purposes. And see, in MATLAB, this MAT is for matrices only. That is why matrix is so important for digital image processing and image processing. The matrix, broadly it has two things. First is arrangement and the operations. So let's see about them. Matrix is represented like this. You have a long square bracket. Inside that, you have values here. So these values, they represent the matrix element, and they are in the form of rows and columns. So every element has or is represented with its, say this is A11. This is for first row and first column. And if we have, say, m rows and say n columns, these are n columns, 1, 2, 3, like n columns. So this would be AMN, the value at mth row and nth column. So you can get the value, you can access the value or place the value just by putting the index. So you can add these matrices, you can subtract these matrices, means there are two matrices, you can add two matrices, subtract two matrices, multiply two matrices, but there are certain things which needs to be known. First is when you want to add two matrices, then a matrix, you want to add two matrices or two more matrices, they should be of same size. That is, if this matrix is m by n, the other has to be m by n. Means the row and column should be equal, because the summation or the subtraction or addition is carried out element by element. Means A11 will be subtracted or added if it is addition. A11 will be added by A11 only, and the result will be the final matrix. And the resultant matrix will also be of m by n form. Means it will contain m by n element. Those elements are simply the sum of the corresponding row column value of corresponding matrix. What about the multiplication? You can multiply a matrix, and the matrix is multiplied, but you have to see that in matrix multiplication, see, if these two are matrix, so you have to consider the rows and column. So the row, if m by n is one matrix, another is p by q. The most important thing is n should be equal to p. That is, the column of the first matrix should be equal to the rows of the second matrix. Then only the multiplication is possible, right? And the condition here, m into n matrix is this, q into p matrix is this. The condition is n should be equal to q, and in this case you will get a matrix of m into q, m into p. The final matrix will be of the order m into p, and this n and q should be equal. This is the requirement. So how matrix multiplication is done? A11 will be multiplied with B11. It will be added with A12 multiplied by B21. Likewise, finally A1n by PQ1, and they are all added, and they are placed at this value. And this is done for the second row, third row, and likewise, right? And then we take the second column. Again, all the rows, all element by element multiplication and then addition. So final value will be placed here. This is the expression of the multiplication of matrix, how we can perform it. And please understand that if this is matrix A, this is matrix B. So A into multiplied by B is not equal to B into A. In certain cases they will be equal, but this is not a general case. Generally A into B does not mean B into A. Identity matrix. Identity matrix means, say if you have number 21, you multiply it with 1, what will be the value? 21. In this similar fashion, in matrix also we have identity matrix. That is, in this, the identity matrix is like this. You have the principal diagonal. In the principal diagonal, all the values are 1. Means Aij, where I equal to j, all these values where I equal to j, they are 1s and others are 0. These are identity matrix. So you multiply A by I, you will get A. You multiply AI by A, you will get A. So I will be this matrix. What about matrix transpose? Matrix transpose, which is represented by, if A is the matrix, then we represent transpose by a to the power t. So that means you are transposing it, and the only thing which you need to understand here is, which is quite simple, you have to convert these row into the columns, rows into the columns. So row into column, column into row. This is the matrix transpose. There is a property, if you multiply two matrix and take transpose, that will be equal to if you multiply the B transpose with A transpose. What are these symmetric matrices? Symmetric matrices are those where the matrix, if it is transpose, they both are equal. That is, Aij is equal to Agi. So let us see an example. I am trying to transpose. So I'll make this row as the column. I'll make this row as the column. Let me take some other color so that I can show you properly. Sorry. So this is 4, 5, 3. This is row. I'm placing 4 here, 5 here, and minus 3 here. In this similar fashion, 5, 7, 2, and minus 3, and 2, and 10. And you can very well observe that these two are equivalent. These two are same. And what is the reason? You take this principal diagonal and you observe the upper triangular matrix and lower triangular matrix. So these two matrix, this and this, they both are equal. They both contain the same value, 5 minus 3, 2, 5 minus 3, 2. So whatever be inside your diagonal, if the lower and upper are equal, so A will be equal to AT, that is transpose, and we will get a symmetric matrix. This is a determinant. So determinant is usually used or employed to solve the linear equations. If this is a matrix, you can find the determinant of a matrix. But for that, matrix is just a representation. Let me tell you, matrix is just a representation. If there are operations also, like we have seen certain operations, and you want to find out the value or the single value, that the output value will be 1. So if you want to find the value corresponding to this matrix, that will be given by determinant of A, DETA, and you have to write the values in between two parallel lines. So we write here, and the computation is quite easy. You multiply these two, means the diagonal elements, and these two diagonal elements, and take these difference. So A11 into A22 minus A21 into A12. This is how you get the determinant. For 3 by 3 matrix, you take A11. Let me tell you how you exactly. I'll tell you about this. First, let me tell you this expression so that you can understand very well. So what you are going to do here is, you will do sigma j to 1 or minus 1 to the power j plus k and ajk. This is how you find the determinant. And determinant of ajk, smaller one. For k, which is between 1 and m. So what I am trying to tell here is, first we'll place this value a11, and in front of this I have to place minus 1 to the power j plus k. So minus 1 to the power j plus k. What is j here? 1, k here, 1 plus 1, 2. I will place minus 1 here. What is jk? 2 and 1, 2 plus 1. So this value will become, let me take this value also, minus 1 to the power j and k, that is 3 and 1, 3 plus 1. What is this? Minus 1 square is 1. So here there is no sign or plus sign. Here in front of a2 and y minus sign is there because it is minus 1 to the power 2 plus 1, that is minus. What about this case, a31, minus 1 to the power 3 plus 1, that is plus. So what we are doing is, we are taking you can take or you can find the determinant with respect to any row and any column. You can take any row or any column and you just have to follow this observation. So if we are taking this first row, we'll place a11 here, we'll place a12 here, we'll place a13 here. And then when we are placing it, we have to understand and find out the values, whether it is minus or plus, using this expression, minus 1 to the power I plus j plus k. So how this has come, these values, you have understood these three values. How this has come? This is how, when we are taking a11, we'll drop all the values to which this a11 belongs, means all the rows and column values. So what is left? A22, A32, A23, A33. So these are called cofactors. Or we'll see about the cofactors and minors. So these are the values which you need to understand and place. So these are the values which we place. In the similar fashion for a12, we'll drop all the values which are coming in the rows and columns. So we'll take a21, a31, a23 and a33. So these are the values. And similar for this. These values we are going to take. And you know how to compute this. I just told you. This multiplication minus this multiplication. So this is the determinant of 3 by 3 matrix. And determinant of A, B, is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. But determinant of A plus B does not mean determinant of A plus determinant of B. What is a diagonal matrix? Diagonal matrix is that matrix where we have elements only in the diagonal, means the elements other than the diagonals, they are all zeros. This is how it is represented. Matrix inverse. Matrix inverse means if 2 is there, 2 inverse is 1 by 2. What will be the value? It will be 1. So 1 is what? Identity. Inverse is A multiplied by A inverse. This will give you I. Or if you take in other terms, A inverse into A, it will again give you I. This is the inverse of matrix A. A inverse only exists because A inverse is only existing when the determinant of A is not equal to 0. Because when you compute this A inverse, the determinant of A comes in the denominator. So it cannot be 0. A inverse only exists. And inverse only exists for the square matrices. Square matrices means row and column should be equal. M equal to N. If M by N matrix is there, M should be equal to N. The terminology here is singular matrix means A inverse does not exist. And conditional matrix, A is close to B singular. There are properties of the inverse which says determinant of A inverse is equal to 1 by determinant of A. AB inverse is equal to B inverse of A inverse. Means you can multiply AB, take the multiplication of AB and can inverse them. You will get the same value if you inverse B first and multiply it by A inverse. A transpose inverse is nothing but A inverse transpose. The pseudo inverse means this are the pseudo inverse, say A plus represented by pseudo inverse A plus of a matrix A, and this could be non-square, that is you can have a M by N matrix. You can find the pseudo inverse of matrix A. So this is computed like this: A transpose A, means these are the multiplication of the inverse, and then A transpose. This is the pseudo inverse of the matrix A. So A transpose A, you take inverse of this, multiply it by A transpose. So it can be also shown that the pseudo inverse of A plus multiplied by A will give you identity, provided that this should exist. What is the matrix trace? Matrix trace. The trace of the matrix is A11 plus A22. These are the diagonal values. A11 plus A22 till A and N. This is the trace. So trace of A transpose is equal to trace of A. Why? Because when you transpose, the diagonal remains unchanged, and the trace of A plus or minus B will be equal to trace A plus minus trace B, and trace AB is equal to trace of BA. So in general, trace of AB is not equal to if you take trace A and multiply it by trace B. What about the rank of matrix? Rank of matrix, it is equal to the dimension of the largest square submatrix of A that has non-zero determinant. Non-zero determinant means, first, if this is 4 by 4, we'll try to find out the determinant of this. Then we'll take 3 by 3, all the 3 by 3 matrix of this matrix, and try to find the determinant. And we'll take the more 2 by 2, only 2 by 2. After 4 by 4, we get 3 by 3 combinations, then 2 by 2. So we'll try to find out all these and try to find out that where we get the determinant which is not equal to 0, and the least where we can get the determinant not equal to 0, we say the rank of the matrix is this. So it is equal to the dimension of the largest. We can say dimension is 4 by 4, that is 4, 3 by 3, 3, 2 by 2, 2. The dimension of the largest submatrix, square, it has to be square, please understand. Rank of the matrix means you are talking about square matrix that has non-zero determinant. For example, for this matrix, we take this one, 3 by 3, this option. You see, determinant of this complete matrix is 0. If you try to compute the determinant, it will be equal to 0. But when we find out the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix, we find that 63 is not equal to 0. So we say that this determinant or this matrix, if the determinant are computed, and if the determinant of 3 by 3, certain 3 by 3 matrix is not equal to 0, we say that the rank is 3. So we have alternative definition also of matrix. The maximum number of linearly independent columns or rows of A. The maximum number of linearly independent columns or rows of A. What we mean to say is C1, V1, C2, V2, and these V1, V2 are nothing but the columns. So let us take, this is first column 4, 3, 8, 1, 5, 9, 10, 2. So these are 4 columns we placed here. These are 4 columns, and these columns, so there are C1, there are constant C1, C2 till Ck. So the definition is that maximum number of linearly independent rows. If we can find 3 rows, then it is rank 3 is there. If we find 4 rows, we say 4, and if we find 2, we say that the rank of matrix is 2. Again, the maximum numbers of linearly independent columns or rows of A. So because this particular value gives you 0, therefore we can say in previous, here also we saw the same matrix, we have not found the rank to be 4, it is 3. So here also the rank is not 4. What about rank and singular matrix? If A is n by n, that is square matrix, rank of A is n if A is non-singular, that is invertible. If A is n by n, rank A is n if determinant A is not equal to 0, that is it is full rank. If A is n by n, rank A is less than n only if A is singular. What about orthogonal matrix? Orthogonal matrix. See, if A is this matrix, you are taking this row, first row, second row. So these are the first one, second one, third one. So we have taken the rows here. How many rows are there? There are m rows, because this is m by n matrix, so m rows are there. And you can represent it by A, ut till um. So A is orthogonal if uj dot uk is equal to 0 for every j is equal to k, for every not equal to uj, uk, um. So any of these two, A is orthogonal if uj dot uk is equal to 0, because j should not be equal to uk. That means this is perpendicular to the other one if they give you a 0 value. So uj is perpendicular to uk, that means they are perpendicular and they are orthogonal. They are giving you the dot product a11 dot a21 plus a12 dot a22 like this till a1 and dot a21. So if you find out the value to be 0, we say that these two are orthogonal. And likewise, for example, if this is the matrix, you just this is cos square theta, and this is, if you try to find out, you see cos into sine, cos sine theta, and then plus minus sine theta cos theta. Means I have multiplied this with this and then added this to this. So because minus sign is there, so these two will cancel out, it will be 0. So this matrix is orthogonal. This matrix is orthogonal. What about orthonormal? What is orthonormal? So orthonormal means uk into uk. We have seen what uk is just now. So uk dot uk is equal to 1, or uk, this value, that is the magnitude of uk, is 1 for every k, and uj dot uk is equal to 0, as we have just seen, for every j not equal to k. So uj is perpendicular to uk, and they are orthonormal if these two conditions are there. uk dot uk, that is uk, similar values, uk into uk is equal to 1, and magnitude of uk should be 1. That is why it is orthonormal only when the magnitude is 1. If uk has the magnitude of 1, you multiply it again by uk, that is 1. And of course the normal condition, orthogonal, you have just seen orthogonal matrices. So orthogonal condition remains here. If A is orthonormal if these two conditions are meeting, if A is orthonormal, it is easy to find its inverse. How? A transpose is equal to A transpose A is equal to I, and A inverse is nothing but the A transpose. A inverse is nothing but the A transpose. So we have a property also, AV. If you take the magnitude, it will be equal to V, because it does not change the magnitude of V. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors. A vector V is an eigen vector of matrix A, and lambda is an eigenvalue of A if A in some books this is given as lambda, so let us take lambda. A say x is equal to lambda x, like this. So this is the condition for the eigen vector and eigenvalue. So this vector v is the eigenvector. In books, some books it is given as x, so x will be eigenvector there. So this v will be the eigenvector of matrix A, and this lambda will give you the eigenvalue of A. We are assuming that this vector v is non-zero. So how you can get it? It is quite easy. You can just take A minus lambda v equal to 0, and you know that this can be 0, this can be 0. So you can find out A minus lambda I. So A minus lambda I equal to 0, and now you can easily get the eigenvalues from here. So the linear transformation implied by A cannot change the direction of eigenvectors v. This is the interpretation, only their magnitude. Again, this eigenvector and eigenvalues, it says that the linear transformation applied by A cannot change the direction of the eigenvectors, only their magnitude. How to compute this lambda and v we have just seen, means the eigenvectors and eigenvalue. So to find the eigenvalues, that is lambda of A, if we are assuming this condition to be true for eigenvectors and eigenvalues, so to find the eigenvalues lambda, we are saying that lambda is the eigenvalues and this is eigenvector. So to find the eigenvalues matrix, we find the roots of the characteristic polynomial. How? As I said, this can be represented by A minus lambda I, and you can just find out the determinant of A minus lambda I and place it equal to 0. So if this A is 5, 6 minus 2 minus 2, A minus lambda into I, this is 1, 1, 0, 0. So you can find out easily, this is lambda, 0, 0, lambda, and you can take the difference. So you can find it out that the value will be 5 minus lambda minus 2, 6 minus 2 minus lambda. You can take the determinant, place it to 0. So lambda 1 will be 1, lambda 2 will be 2. So what v1 you'll get, because there are two values, you will get one value will get 1 by 2, 1, another will be 2 by 3, 1. This is how you find out the value, and you have to compute this v1 and v2 by this expression. What are the properties of eigenvalues and eigenvectors? The eigenvalues and eigenvectors are only defined for square matrix. First of all, m has to be equal to n. The eigenvectors are not unique. For example, if this vector is an eigenvector, so is k into v also, and k can be any value. So eigenvectors are not unique. Suppose lambda 1 to lambda n, these are the eigenvalue of A, then summation of this lambda I will be equal to trace of. And there is one more property, and multiplication also is a property. If lambda equal to 0 is an eigenvalue, the matrix is not invertible. If you have a lambda equal to 0 as eigenvalue, the matrix is not invertible. If this A and A square have the same eigenvectors, if lambda is an eigenvalue of A, then lambda square is an eigenvalue of A square, right? And xtax, this is transpose, and these are the vectors for every x not equal to 0. These are the properties. Then we come to matrix diagonalization. So given A, which is a matrix always, find P such that P inverse AP is diagonal. So this P now diagonalizes A. So we take P as V1 to Vn. What are these V1 to Vn? They are the eigenvectors of A. What we are doing is we have A and we multiply it by P, this one. So since P is nothing but the simple V1, V2, V3, Vn matrix, so when we multiply it using the identity matrix, you'll get it as lambda, lambda 2 and lambda n. And of course with P inverse, you'll get these values. This is the making of diagonalization. So we are making these diagonal matrix consist of the eigenvectors. So let us take an example. If A is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Take lambda 1 equal to 0, lambda 2 equal to 2. So V1 will be 1 by minus 1, V2 will be 1 by 1. You know how to compute this. So if P is 1 minus 1, 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 1, 1. P inverse will be, you can compute the inverse, and P inverse AP will be equal to 0, 0, 0, 2. This is matrix diagonalization. Are all n by n matrix diagonalizable? Only if this P inverse exists, because A must have n linearly independent eigenvectors, that is rank of A should be n. And if A has n distinct eigenvectors, eigenvalues, A lambda 1 to lambda n, then the corresponding eigenvectors V1 to Vn form a basis, which we call them as linearly independent, and they span R to the power n. What about diagonalization to decomposition? Let us assume that P is diagonalizable. That means P inverse AP equal to this value. So you can easily find out A by P, and this is your A and this is P inverse. Decomposition of symmetric matrix. The eigenvalues of symmetric matrix are all real, and the eigenvectors corresponding to this distinct eigenvalues, they are orthogonal. That means if this is the value P inverse, you can write it as A. So P inverse is equal to PT. So P to the power T will be given by this expression. So this was some basic matrix operation which are employed and used in your digital image processing. Thank you so much.